Okay, this is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place on Thursday the 6th of August. Center number DDE120 and the candidate is Sarah Odema. The candidate number is 013134458. The examiner is Samson Sees. Examiner number 443533. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Samson. Would you please tell me your full name?
My name is Sarah Odema.
Thank you. And may I see your identification,
Sure.
please? Thank you. In the first part of the exam, I will ask you some personal questions. Are you a student or do you work now?
Presently, I am working as a teacher.
Okay. And why did you choose this job?
I chose to become a teacher because I felt like teaching is part of me. And when I am in the classroom, I really feel happy that I help my students improve themselves in a wide range of areas. And what I like most about teaching is I feel like I'm elevating the level of the knowledge of my students.
Okay. Now, is there anything about your job you would like to change?
Not really. However, when I come to think of the payment, I wish I could go back in time and opt for another career because of the low payment. Sometimes it really brings me down, and it's the thing that really keeps me frustrated all the time.
Right. I'd like to move on and ask you some questions about shopping. Who does most of the shopping in your household?
Well, actually, it's not only one person who does the shopping for the household. I would say it's a shared responsibility, and everyone has a role to play in the household. So we always tend to go shopping together.
Okay. And what type of shopping do you like and why?
What I like most about shopping, when it comes to shopping, is buying presents for my friends or maybe people's birthdays or even Christmas. My favorite store is a bookstore, which is in the list of my top priority. And I believe if I buy a book for someone, it is not only considered a gift, but also I can help that person gain another piece of knowledge. So it brings me a great sense of satisfaction.
Great. And is shopping a popular activity in your country? Why not?
It is indeed. On Thursdays and Fridays, people pour into the streets and shopping centers. It is considered more as a leisure activity than just, they are not aiming to buy something practical. So I see that most teenagers and people go shopping, go sometimes window shopping, or they wander around the mall. So I don't think they buy something practical for.
Okay. So what type of shops do teenagers like best in your country?
Well, I haven't thought about this before, but obviously, like any other teenagers, they are much more into shopping clothes, makeup to beautify themselves, or maybe some music stuffs, and these kind of things.
Right. Okay, let's talk about films. How often do you go to the cinema?
To be honest with you, I don't even get to go to the movies. I only manage to watch 1 to 2 films every week. And after a long day of teaching, what I love most is, snuggling up on a sofa and watch my favorite film, which really helps me unwind. I usually do this on Fridays.
Right. And what type of films do you like best?
I'm very much into drama and historical movies because it can help me gain a better understanding of the historical events in the past and even about the human emotions in the past. So I believe there is always something to learn from the past events, historical events, and even to pass it on to the upcoming generations in the future.
Wonderful. Okay, that is the end of part 1. We'll now move on to part 2. I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you'll have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make notes if you wish. Do you understand?
Yes.
Wonderful. Here's your paper.
Thank you.
Pencil. And here is your topic. You now have 1 minute to make notes. Okay, you will now have 2 minutes to speak about your topic. Don't worry if the time is over. I will stop you after the 2 minutes. You may start speaking now.
I would like to talk about the time after when I graduated from high school. It was at the peak of summer when I had to study really hard for the senior grade of high school. On that year, I had to sacrifice everything and give up on all the joys and to somehow step out of my comfort zone. Despite all of this, I managed to keep a high spirit because I knew that this would end very quickly, and on top of all that, this would mark a significant milestone on that year. So I burned the midnight oil for months on end. And after a couple of months, when I grabbed my certificate in hand, I was like over the moon. And I get the feeling that all the sufferings have come to an end. And it was like the time to open a new page of my life. And for this reason, my parents were so proud of me to throw a graduation party for me. And to move on more to the details, I can say that this party was only a dinner party, which only included my own family and some of my friends. My parents invited a musical band to perform my favorite songs, and we all had a blast together on that night. And at the end, everyone congratulated me and wished me a successful college year ahead. And I was really proud of myself on that night, which marked an indelible moment for me that I will treasure forever, I think. And I am really looking forward for the college life in the future.
Thank you very much. That is the end of part 2. 2 minutes is over. I will take your papers back now. Thank you very much. And the paper you have there,
Yeah.
the topic, thank you. We'll now move on to part 3. So we've been talking about an important event in your life, and I'd now like to ask you some questions related to this. Here we go. What days are important in your country?
The majority of our population are Muslims, and that is why Muslims tend to celebrate Eids and as a national festival, and it's like a huge celebration. They sometimes pay and repay a visit to one another, and sometimes they buy some new clothes and they cook some special cuisines on that day, and it is considered a happy moment on that day.
Wow, and why is it important to have national celebrations?
When I come to think of it, national celebrations can boost the unity among nations. And another thing about these national festivals is the great advantage that it gives an overview of, it reflects an overview of the attitude of gratitude and enjoying every thing that we own, everything we have, instead of the things that we don't or that we want in the future. So it's a great moment to be grateful for what we have.
And how is the way your national celebrations are celebrated now different from the way they were celebrated in the past?
Actually, I am not very into the celebrations that have happened, that people used to have in the past. But about today, I think people tend to care a lot more about some private parties that people in the past didn't used to have. It's something that people in the past, I think, used to celebrate more indoors, whereas today people are celebrating outdoors with their friends. Like teenagers, they are, more reluctant than ever to celebrate these national festivals with their family members or relatives. They like to have their own independent lives and enjoy themselves independently.
Okay, and are there any celebrations from other countries that you celebrate in your country?
Absolutely. Recently, we can easily see that people are celebrating some celebrations that are not part of their culture. Like, for example, Valentine's Day or the Halloween's Day. They are not part of our culture. And despite all of this, they are celebrating it at a large scale.
Right. And what are the benefits of having events that many people around the world are celebrating on the same day?
In my opinion, there are a lot of positive aspects involved in this global events. It reminds us of the fact that we are all the people around the world are humans, and we all have the same values, no matter what race, religion, entity, or no matter who we are. We are all sharing this world together to celebrate together.
And do you think any new national celebrations will come into being in the future?
It's a good question. I would say yes, because we have seen so many celebrations that have been added to our daily lives through history. And the future is not an exception. We can expect any new festival to be added in the future.
Okay, thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test.